What's up, guys? I am Skate Master Nate, and I am so stoked today to welcome you to episode 1 of season 2 of Skater Diet. Badass! Let's do that again. Today I'm coming to you from New Philadelphia Skate Park in New Philadelphia, Ohio, because this is where it all began 1 year ago. If you've seen Skater Diet episode 1, you'll notice that it was not actually filmed at this park. But this is the very first park that I put my foot on a skateboard after 25 years. It was this board right here, and it was at the little part of the park right back here. It was March 27th, Easter Sunday of 2016. I figured that was the safest day on the calendar that I could come out to a skate park, there'd be nobody else around, and I could kind of just try to get my footing without a million people watching. I busted my ass all over this park, and you know what? There was somebody here watching. We'll come back to that story in a few minutes here, but first, let's take a quick recap of Season 1 Skater Diet, where I've been, where I am now, and where I plan on going in the future. I was always a chubby kid, but I was always a happy kid. When it came to eating, I always had this need to be absolutely stuffed in order to feel satisfied. And because of that, I gained a lot of weight quick. Until 8th grade in junior high, when I discovered skateboarding, and everything changed.
This is Skate Master Nate, and I'm here today with Dan Stanley. He's sponsored by Bro.
From that point on, I was skateboarding every day, all day long, and a byproduct of that was that I lost a ton of weight really, really fast. Not only was I eating less, but all I cared about was ollies and rail slides and landing that kickflip. Along with the weight loss, skateboarding also brought me a new sense of self-confidence and self-worth, and a realization that I didn't need to fit in with these so-called cool kids at school. I had made a ton of my own new friends, and I was having the time of my life. So I graduated high school in 1993, moved into my own apartment, and immediately dove into raising a family. I got married, had 3 kids, and as they grew, naturally I grew with them. I gained and lost a lot of weight over the years, at one point even getting into bodybuilding for a little while, which probably put me in the best shape of my life. But that was really expensive and really time-consuming, so even that fell through. By the time my granddaughter was born, I had ballooned to nearly 400 pounds. Over the summer I took 2 vacations, the first to Hilton Head, South Carolina, and the second to Warsaw, Indiana. These would prove to be a major turning point in my life. At home, everything is tailored to your own needs. Everything from my living room furniture to my king-size bed, even my office chair, is specially made to accommodate a bigger guy. Going on these 2 vacations took me so far out of my element to where I was so embarrassed internally. I had to really struggle to make it look natural getting in and out of these cars that I wasn't used to riding in. I was so overly self-conscious of everything I ate. I made sure I took the room with the king-size bed at the condo, and halfway to Hilton Head we had to share a hotel room, and all night long I had pillows thrown at me to make sure I was still alive because I had really bad sleep apnea, and I would just basically stop breathing for minutes at a time. I went to Indiana with my girlfriend and her family. Anytime we would sit down to eat, I felt like everybody was just staring at me. It was just a very difficult time. Very embarrassing. Over the course of both vacations, I began thinking, this is it. This is the last time I ever want to be this big, this embarrassed of who I am. With the vacations over, I was back home and so ready to start this new chapter in my life. I started walking at the park every morning. I went hiking at Dundee Falls with my daughter. I joined the Warrior Dash, and although I broke 4 ribs doing it, I finished every obstacle and the entire race. I joined a diet bet online, and I was finally starting to drop the weight and gain a confidence that this could actually be done. Although the weight was coming off, I was finding it harder and harder to stay committed because I just don't enjoy walking at the park and lifting weights in the typical fitness routines. One evening in February of 2016, I was talking to my kids discussing what they want to do with their future, and over the course of that conversation, I realized that what I needed in my life to help me successfully complete this transformation was skateboarding. I bought my first skateboard since the 90s, and May 18th, 2016, the first episode of Skater Diet went live on YouTube. In addition, I started my own skateboarding company and have stayed dedicated to this promise, and by November 1st of 2016, I had officially, so far, lost 100 pounds. As of today, I have officially lost 100 pounds. 100 pounds, that is so crazy. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, how can he put these pictures up there? Isn't that embarrassing? The answer is yes. But facing yourself and acknowledging what you see is the first step in changing that problem. I have posted more pictures and videos in the past year than I ever would have before, in the name of facing my problems head on. Pretending the problem doesn't exist will never make it go away. Embarrassing? Yes. Necessary? 100%. In looking to the future, all I really need to do is look to the past. In a sense, where I'm going is also where I've been. As of today, I've gained a little weight back and I'm 330 pounds. So my first goal is to get back down to 299. Next, 258, and by November 1st of 2017, I would like to have lost another 100 pounds and weigh in at 199. Ultimately, I would like to get back to what I believe is my perfect weight, 181 pounds. Just pulling up to this park in my car was intimidating enough. Then to get out and put my foot on my board for the first time in 25 years, I don't even know how to put it. Just really uncomfortable and scary. Of course, you think you're just going to step on the board and go at it, you know, just like you used to do back in the day when you were a kid. But it just doesn't happen that way. It's something that is so awkward, it almost feels like you've never been on a skateboard before in your life. So I walked around this park and I'm looking at these little ramps and things like the waves back here. I don't even know if that's what you call them, but that's what I call them. We've got different kinds of transitions here, quarter pipes, fun box, a platform over here, little mini half pipe over here, and a bank beside that. And looking at these things, I'm thinking, okay, this can't be any big deal. You know, I used to have a mini half pipe in my backyard when I was a kid. So I step on my board, I push around a little bit, and it was really uncomfortable. I was wobbly, I was really nervous. There was a van that I couldn't tell how many people were in it, but I could tell by the action that there was more than one person in it, almost like they were watching and they wanted to see what was going to happen here with this big fat guy with a skateboard. They actually pulled over from behind these ramps over here, and they sat there and watched me the whole time I was here. And I thought, okay, I'm going to be out skating at skate parks all the time. I can't worry about what other people think. So I went about my business. I put down the board, I stepped on, I pushed around a little bit, and after skating on the little bit of flat ground here for a little bit, I was like, okay, I'm just going to see how some of these transitions feel. So one of the first things I did was I came over to this little wave right here. And I skated over to it, I tried to go up it, and I slammed so hard. My knees, my elbows, I didn't even know how I hit the ground, that I hit every part possible, but I did, and it hurt. My board went flying up over here, over that ramp over there, and over the fence. So after I pulled myself up off the ground, I had to go retrieve my board, and with a van full of people behind me watching, I had to swallow my pride, get back up, and try it again. I moved around this small park here, trying things like this transition back here, and I went over on the little half pipe for a little bit, and every time it was the same story. The board would just fly out from under my feet, I would slam on the ground. I think I fell 6 or 8 times over here, and then I moved to the big park. So as I entered this part, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. My heart is like beating out of my chest. It's 10 times the size of the little park over there that I just busted my ass everywhere on. This part I think is actually made for BMX bikes, mainly, but there's never anybody here. So I gave it a shot, and of course, I busted my ass all over the place with every single ramp that I hit. But the scariest part is this vert wall. I believe it's only 10 feet, but once you get up there, it feels like it's 15. Right there. So I climb all over these ramps, the platforms, the pyramid over here, which is pretty awesome. And then I start looking for a way to get up on that wall. So you have to go around the back here. Where you come upon a pretty awesome half pipe. And I'm like, okay, there are no ladders. There is no easy way to get up on the top of this stuff. 400 pounds, I have to climb up the transition of this half pipe. It took a while, but I did it. So then I finally make it up to the top of the, I guess it's a 10-foot vert, but it feels like 12 to 15, I swear to God. I'm still scared being up here right now. I come over here and look over the edge, and even just like right now, I feel like my life is over. Like, I can't even imagine Tony Hawk climbing up on something like this and going, okay, it's time to drop in. What the? So in the end, just like I had to do right now, I had to slide down this bank over here to get off of all this stuff. Because like I said, there's no easy way up, there's no easy way down. I left this park bumped and bruised and beaten to a bloody pulp. But it felt so good to be back on the board, pushing around a little bit, that familiar feeling under your feet of the concave and the grip tape. So I was happy. It felt good. I was proud of myself for getting back out here and starting what I said I was going to do. And here we are 1 year later at the same park where it all started. And I'm ready to conquer some new obstacles.